It's your girl, Raven. Thank you for tuning in to Custom Made in New York podcast. This week, we are going to discuss change. So if you haven't noticed or you haven't listened to my previous episodes, I've been talking pretty much about like resolutions and making changes in our lives. And, you know, it's the beginning of the year and just starting off our year right. Not only right, but being consistent throughout the year. So change is inevitable. I remember my college professor telling me this many years ago. It's going to happen, right? And if we want things in our lives to manifest in our lives, we have to be open to change. But change isn't always easy. So this podcast is going to discuss community and how community can support you with change.
No new friends. How many of you were singing that song back in 2013? That was a summer anthem. I can't believe it's been that long. I feel extremely old right now. Like, yeah, no new friends. It's all about loyalty. We down for our day ones, our riders. Yes, I'm all about that. I really stuck to that. I wasn't trying to meet anybody. I don't like to socialize. It's weird. I love people, but I really don't. And I've come to accept that about myself. Like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Like, I like to be by myself. It's cool. I'm a cool person. But no new friends. Just the thought of that now that I think about it, I'm just like young and dumb because I have over the years gathered a, a bit more friends, and I'm happy that I did. Like, I'm happy that I grew out of that mentality of no new friends because it has been my new friends that have helped me to progress towards where I am now in my life. And I think like when we think about progress and meeting people and like having that mentality that we don't need anybody and we need to do things by ourselves, like not ask for help. Like I was like that for so long. And so I have progressed independently by myself, but at the same time, having a community has gotten me even further. Like, for example, thinking about my journey with Christ. Like, when I was younger, I said this before, when I was younger, I was in church all day, every day, Friday night, Sunday, all day. You know, that was my second house, my home away from home. And eventually, after me trying to figure, especially as a history teacher, it kind of got confusing learning about the different histories, especially the history of Catholicism. It was kind of like an eye opener to me. Like I wasn't paying attention when I was a student, but when I began teaching history, I'm like, wow, like this is real. So I started to question my own religion. I started to question a lot of things. I never particularly questioned God or his existence, but I was a bit confused at one point. I still continue to read the Bible. I know most of you who follow me on social media have seen like I'm always posting like my daily prayers and stuff like that. I used to do that a lot and then I stopped. But like I always wanted to better my relationship with God, but at the same time, I think because of community, I have gotten so much further, and I'm so grateful for that. Because studying independently, at the same time, I wasn't going to church, like, but I was still reading my Bible every day. But it's not the same when you find a community that supports you, supports your goals, and really helps you to understand, you know, the process fully and hold you accountable for it. So there are so many benefits of being in a community, especially when the people that you're in a community with have similar goals with you. Like a lot of us, we talked about like, right, we don't want new friends because our old friends are great. Our friends can be very supportive of us, right? They want to see us do well, but at the same time, sometimes they don't have the necessary resources to make that happen. And so that's why it's so important to find a community that can do that for you, that you can dream or accomplish your dreams. Like, for instance, when I first started a business years ago, I think I probably knew one person that had their own business. So they could tell me but so much.
I was staying up late, long hours, just doing a lot of research and coming up short most of the time because I didn't understand, or like I was doing stuff, but I was still making mistakes, rookie mistakes. And I think that had I joined a community and took the opportunity to speak with people and listen to their experience in terms of like what they went through and what their process was like, those rookie mistakes could have been avoided. In a community, you're able to share your frustrations, like those challenges, those obstacles that you're facing, and work through them.
It's so much easier in a community to be held accountable. For instance, like with my journey with Christ and my relationship with Christ, I joined this Dope Connect group. We meet up every Saturday. I think it's twice a year. This is my second time doing it. I think we started October last year, and we met up every weekend. And we talked about our relationship with God. We prayed together. We shared our frustrations. We shared our goals. During the week, we did check-ins with each other. It was pretty dope. And I didn't feel like I was alone. Like I knew what I wanted to do and I knew I was going to get it done. But at the same time, it felt so much better just to have somebody to talk to about it. Being able to connect with these girls, it was a fun opportunity. We were able to provide resources for one another because we were coming from different walks of life, but we knew that we wanted to better our relationship with God, and we all knew that we had goals that we wanted to accomplish in life. And because of the experiences that we've had as individual people, or maybe through our work, our job, or owning businesses, we were able to help each other out. So that's why, like, I'm talking about that now. I'm trying to think about like the things that allowed me to be better. And one of the things was community and people holding me accountable. Like sometimes you do join a group. You could say, yeah, I'm going to join this group, and but I don't feel like going today. So it's not only having a community to support you, but your community is going to hold you accountable. Like I'm a person, like I don't like to look bad, and that's just me. Like I don't like to look bad. I like to keep my word unless like there's something that really happens, but I don't want to ever somebody to ever call me lazy. Like nobody will ever call me lazy. F that. I know that. But I'm just saying, like, I don't like to be called lazy. I don't like to be looked at as lazy. Even if nobody necessarily calls me that. I don't like that. So I would, push myself even if I don't feel like doing something, like knowing that they're gonna check in today, like they're gonna hit me up. Like, I wanna say that I've maybe not accomplished everything, but I've gotten one step closer. You're able to hold each other accountable. You're able to share knowledge, possibly that you didn't know already, or something that you learned that you can share with somebody else. And there are also opportunities to work together. Like you don't know in your situation or what your goal is. You might find like someone that can offer more than what you have, additional resources. So one of the first communities that I joined outside of college was She Wins Society. And She Wins Society, formerly known as Women by Choice, is an empowerment group. I've been a part of this group since 2015. I actually wanted to start my own women's empowerment group. And then, like, I remember calling my girls, Jackie and Sherry Ann, and I'm like, oh, let's do this. And they were all for it. And then, like, I started doing my research. I'm like, wait, this already exists. So why reinvent the wheel? Like, this is popping. I've been following this page. I only noticed that they were putting dope quotes. And I used to like the quotes all the time, not realizing that it was more than just quotes, empowering quotes. So She Wins Society. I've been on retreats. They have stuff. They have workshops all the time. They're always doing things to encourage women. And I've always thought that was dope. I would say one of the things I love about that is that I can have the most seemingly impossible dream and they will still encourage me to do great. Like there's some people, and unfortunately some of our friends are like that too. Like we'll tell them something and they'll shut us down. For instance, I was talking to my sister the other day. She was at my house and she was just like, I want to try this. I'm like, go for it. She's like, well, I said this to someone else earlier today and they pretty much shut her down. And I'm just like, why would you ask that person who has no experience in that field or area their opinion about what you are dreaming or what you want to do? You understand what I'm saying? Like, even for me, I was talking to somebody recently and they started to tell me about somebody else's experience in the same situation. Instead of like saying, oh, that's cool, that sounds great, it was, oh, well, this person wasn't successful at it. So, but it's just like, what does that have to do with me? Don't have anything to do with me. I'm a totally different person. Like, I'm backed by God. Like, whatever it is, it's either going to be my dream or it's going to be better. Anyway, I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking in my head. God has me with so much confidence. But, to say, like, sometimes your friends aren't always encouraging. And, like, I've honestly started to call people out on that. Like, if somebody says something negative about something I want to do, and you can tell when it's something coming from like their own insecurities, or rather they're like trying to look out for you. You can tell. And sometimes you have to check people when they do that and just be like, listen, you don't have to be rude about it, but just like, I didn't ask you that. That was my response the other day, and I got extremely offended. But I noticed that sometimes when I tell people like the truth, or I'm straightforward, because that's not Raven. Like, Raven is a people pleaser, like extreme. Like, we're going to go over that conversation in another time. But like, I love to make people happy. I do like to see people happy. I don't like to, be the bearer of bad news or anything like that. So when it's like, when I'm like straightforward about stuff, people really do not see that coming, and they don't expect it, and they get offended. And I'm just like, I don't care. Wait. IDGAF. All right? I don't anymore. I used to, but I don't. Well, getting back to what we were talking about. But yeah, so just having conversations with people, especially maybe you just want to enhance your own community and not necessarily like you might not be comfortable going outside of your own friends. Having a conversation with your friends to let them know, like, set boundaries like this, I need you to help me with this. And if you're going to help me with this, I need it to be like this. This is how I need your help. Praise them when they do what you ask them to do as a friend, as a supporter in your life, right? And then let them know when, like, this is not helping me. You know what I'm saying? Like, be honest. They're your friends. And if you can't be honest with your friends, they're not really your friends. So some places that you can find new groups with similar interests is the meetup group. I think it's meetup.com is one of them. You can go to the library, do your research, start on social media, looking through hashtags to see, especially I know it's difficult for a lot of people moving to other states and like being a new person and you're not really social. It's like, I have no friends. Like, what do I do? I'm by myself. How do I make friends? How do I find out more information about certain things? You have to like network. You have to watch a workshop video and see how to best network. We can talk about that another time. That's a whole other episode. But like, figure that out. Figure out what you want to do, what goal you need real support in that is you're not getting anywhere in, or you've been trying it for a long time. It's not necessarily that you have been inconsistent, but you feel like you're not getting as far or you're not making progress. Look out, turn to your communities to see people are really willing to help. Like, we may feel like there's a lot of haters out there, but there are other people in this world. There are actually a lot of us that enjoy helping people and want to see you do good and want to see you push forward and want to see you feel good because you've accomplished what you've been trying so hard to accomplish. And if you can't find a community that is within distance of where you are, I would suggest creating your own. Don't be afraid to like start with 2 or 3 people. That's better than none, and just make sure you all are consistent. You know what the expectations are and be there for one another. Like, don't be flaky. Like, if somebody's really holding you down, don't turn around and not do the same for them, like try your best. So, yes, if you are struggling with change in your life right now, find a community that is going to support you. And if you can't find one, create your own. Be patient. It's going to come with time. You're going to see progress. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. It is going to be, I know change can be so stressful. Like, I hate change. I love routines. When it comes to change, I hate it. When I get used to something, it's just like, don't try to change it. It works for me, just leave it alone. But if it isn't working for you, yeah, you need to step outside your comfort zone.
Thank you so much for listening. I want to hear from you. What communities are you a part of, or what things are you struggling with that you feel like it would be nice to have support? Comment under my Instagram post at Custom Made in New York. And please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, you can personally DM me again at Custom Made in New York. I'll talk to you next week. Take care.